in Chapel Hill, North Carolina at halftime. Now, he is replaced by Ranzino Smith.
Ranzino Smith in the last 2 meetings against Notre Dame did not score a point. He can hold, but they won't be able to put as much pressure on the key man, the miracle worker, Mr. Lucky, David Rivers.
And it is David Rivers that'll be the focus of the Notre Dame offense. He leads the Irish in scoring with 15 points a game. It'll be David Rivers. As successful as he will be, well, that will lift the hopes of the Irish and an upset today. The starting lineups for North Carolina. They've won 16 in a row. That's the longest winning streak in major college basketball. The brilliant freshman J.R. Reed, Dave Popson, and Joe Wolf, a front line that averages over 6'10". Jeff Lebo will now be the point guard, and Kenny Smith, Tapsons, and Ranzino Smith completes the starting five, a better defensive player than offensive. Notre Dame is 11-5, but of their 5 losses, 4 of those came in the final minute. Donald Royal, Mark Stevenson, and Gary Vose, the front line. They don't have the depth, however. David Rivers is the key. He is their star player. Scott Hicks, with a hot day, could really benefit a Notre Dame cause. The officials today are all from the Atlantic Coast Conference. They're Joe Forty, Gerald Dunny, and James Wright. Notre Dame always tough at home, and the crowd will be a factor. Vose and Popson, and both men having trouble with the toss, and let's see if they do it again. Ranzino Smith, the pressure on him, filling in for Kenny Smith, and then Dean Smith does not have another guard. If anyone should get in foul trouble or tire, Joe Wolf would move into the back court at 6'10".
I think maybe, Dick, they'd go to Hunter first. Maybe. You've seen many touches, at least 6 each time down. So mark the clock down for about 15 seconds before they take their shot.
They don't want to play an up-tempo game. North Carolina is number 2 in the nation in scoring, around 95 points a game, second only to the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, while Notre Dame is number 4 in defense and allowing points.
10 seconds left to go.
Royal gives Notre Dame the early lead. And there'll be a timeout while they clean the floor after the first goal celebration.
Dean stood up. I think he's looking for a technical foul. I don't know if he'll get it or not. This is kind of tradition, but Dean Smith's absolutely right.
If it happens again, reading the lips of Joe Forney, the referee, it's a technical foul.
Down now talking to Digger Phelps, telling Digger the same thing. Digger's going to come over to the microphone. Uh-oh, here we go for a 10-minute lecture. Get ready for the sermon. High mass is going to be held. Here we go. Going over to apologize, I guess, to Dean. Dean wants to get the game going.
Well, that was nice. A little relaxed interchange. And now we go. 2-0 Notre Dame.
Who gets the Emmy?
Lebo to Wolf. Hobson.
Odd man-to-man by the Fighting Irish.
J.R. Reed has been brilliant the last 4 games. That may be an understatement.
Got to stop Wolf today.
Lebo to Wolf. Ranzino underneath the Wolf. Scott Hicks pulls it down for Notre Dame. And again, we'll watch that 45-second clock as Notre Dame will use as much time as they can on each possession.
Dean's going to bring his men up looking for a 5-count if he can get it. This isn't difficult for Notre Dame to do. They're just going to extend it longer. They've been doing this all year, but not to this extent.
Donald Royal working on Wolf. Mark Stevenson. 13 seconds on the clock. Intercepted by Ranzino Smith. Good anticipation as he left his man and made the steal. 2-0. The Irish lead, 2 minutes gone. J.R. Reed side, and it's tied at 2.
15 feet in, facing the basket, shoulder square. Wolf is automatic.
Can't give North Carolina that many chances, says Biggerfeld.
Keep the ball in Royal's hands as much as possible. Should be able to clean Wolf offensively.
David Rivers. Stevenson shoots and scores. Mark Stevenson, sophomore from Philadelphia.
Might be a little bit difficult. Jeff Lebo has the floor and he's playing point guard, which is Kenny Smith's position.
Inside to J.R. Reed.
Should be 2 more.
Joe Wolf gets another to tie it at 4.
I remember him as a senior watching him practice at Kohler High School in Wisconsin. Unbelievable shooter for 6'10".
Pressure defense. Stevenson inside to Royal, or Bose rather. Over to Rivers, and over Rivers' head for the turnover. And good defense by North Carolina.
That's what North Carolina wants to create. But without Kenny Smith, Dean's going to have to make a lot of substitutions to keep him fresh.
The Tar Heels look for their first lead with 3.5 minutes gone. J.R. Reed on the baseline to score, and he is fouled by Gary Vogt.
Just a mismatch in a baseline, Dick. It's too many Clydesdales against Tonys. He is the great freshman.
J.R. Reed in the last 4 games has just been outstanding from the field. I mean, superhuman, in fact. 35 out of 40 from the floor. He's 1 for 2 today. Gary Vogt with a rebound. It remains 6-4, North Carolina.
Get the ball back into Rivers' hands.
Number 43, Curtis Hunter, is in the game for North Carolina.
Moves in a quicker play to up-tempo the defense, Dick.
Ranzino Smith doing a good job on Rivers. Now they double-team Rivers, and a turnover to Reed, and all alone is Ranzino. Hicks the beat. Good play by Scott Hicks. No foul.
It's an automatic basket. Ranzino Smith is yet to score. First 2 games against North Carolina was 0-0-0 against Notre Dame. Here he is the breakaway, and here comes on his afterburner, looking to make up that distance.
And with 4 minutes and 15 seconds gone in the opening half, it's Carolina 6-4. There's the freshman J.R. Reed. The last 4 games against North Carolina State, Wake Forest, Georgia Tech, and Clemson, missing only 5 from the floor, 35 out of 40. He's 1 for 2 today.
I said to one of the newspapers down in Chapel Hill a week or so ago that not even Dean Smith can hide this guy. Dean likes to take care of the scene. He's a good sitter.
6-4, Carolina with the ball and the lead. Reed, he scores and he's fouled. Donald Royal got him.
They got to collapse more on Reed. Once Reed gets his ball, he's very mature. It takes his time. There has to be a collapse from the top. They should float off Popson.
Boy, the agility of the man to jump, use his body to shield off the defender, and make the shot. He completes the 3-point play, and Carolina leads by 5 with 4.5 minutes gone. Up-court pressure by the Tar Heels, and Rivers says, get out of here. I'll go one-on-one against Ranzino. And now they double-team Rivers in the backcourt. Good job. Scott Hicks brings it in. There's the case in point. They had the shot, but Digger wants to chew up some time off the clock. Scott Hicks, not there. Rebound, Hobson. comes Joe Wolf. And it'll be Rancino Smith who gets a breather. So now Dean Smith has Lebo, and Hunter could play both guard and forward, but basically it'll be Lebo and 4 front liners.
They'll put the taller man Hunter on Rivers, but Rivers should go by Hunter. Let's watch what happens here. Rivers has to keep the dribble alive longer.
Rivers was involved in that August automobile accident, severe abdominal injuries, and yet here he is playing. He's still not 100%. Remarkable he's here at all. Scott Hicks, not there. Rebound, close, he scores, he's fouled.
That's a big basket for the Fighting Irish because they don't expect points out of us. They expect him to play D on the post position. They expect him to hit the board. He follows up here, gets the inside position, fortunately, and then he lays it off the glass.
Joe Wolf picks up his first foul. At the line, Gary Bose from the Queens, New York. Born and raised in Jamaica. He is 6'9", a junior. 9-7 on the three-point conversion by Gary Bose.
They must play up on Wolf if they expect to stop Carolina now. I'd float off Thompson a little bit. I'd float off Hunter a little bit.
That's exactly what they did. They gave Hunter room outside, but there's Joe Wolf from 20 feet. Almost a three-pointer for Wolf. He has 6.
Can't allow him alone. He's in the top 3 or 4 drafts in the NBA come June. Double teaming, jump switch, and try to create shots so the clock doesn't move.
Rivers inside to Stevens, or Hicks. Rivers, nice move, but off the mark. Royal can't handle it. Hunter for North Carolina.
JR got good position.
Reed can't hit the banker. Gary Bose with a rebound.
Tense defense by the Tar Heels, trying to create play. The refs are aware of trying to get a 5 count to keep moving their arms. Unless they're cold.
Foul on Gary Bose for blocking. Notre Dame center gets his second. Scott Williams is in for North Carolina, a freshman from Los Angeles. Williams replaces Dave Hobson. Bigger not at all happy about the foul call. It's 11-7 North Carolina with 7 minutes gone. This is Williams. Joe Wolf.
Unbelievable, isn't he? And that's automatic. He's not hot today, Dick. He shoots like that all the time.
8 points for Wolf, who now is 6'11", Kohler, Wisconsin. A 6-point deficit staring at Notre Dame.
At about 20 seconds on the shot clock, they should get the ball back into Rivers' hands and let him do his one-on-one.
Royal against Wolf. Takes it inside and loses it to Hunter. Scott Williams at the other end to score. And it's 15-7 North Carolina.
I might go to timeout here, Digger.
8 minutes gone. The Tar Heels with their biggest lead. Boy, look at how they pressure defensively, and another turnover. J.R. Reed off to Hunter. Curtis Hunter's in the book. A 10-point lead for the Tar Heels.
You better stop this momentum.
North Carolina has firepower, but people underestimate their great defensive talent. They'll turn it over, and that's exactly what they're doing to the Irish. Both. Wolf rebounds. Scott Williams, a jump hook, not there. Rebound, Mark Stevenson. 6 turnovers to 1, and Carolina's been converting them at the other end.
5 of the turnovers were forced by the jump switch.
Stevenson is short. Royal inside. Has it knocked away, and it's out of bounds to Notre Dame.
also by JR.
And with that, we have a timeout. 10:51 remaining in the opening half. Carolina by 10. North Carolina looking for its 17th consecutive win, leading host Notre Dame 17-7, nearing the midpoint of the first 20-minute period. It'll be the Irish ball on the far side, and number 33, Sean Connor, will play it in. He has just entered the lineup for Digger Phelps. Good pass to Royal. Takes it up in a crowd, and it's blocked. Both can't hit the short jumper, and it's batted out of bounds by North Carolina.
North Carolina is smooth. Dean Smith's making multiple substitutions. Everyone's expendable. So he can shotgun a lot of fouls. He can double team like that anytime he wants.
Steve Bucknall, number 20, is in the game for the first time. Both assist to Rivers. Minutes remaining in the first half.
First time Notre Dame went to a zone, a 1-3-1 zone. Watch for Lebo, hits from the outside.
Digger Phelps being warned as he argues about the call on the last foul, and here's Vos. Good feed from Rivers.
That is peripheral vision on Rivers that time.
Curtis Hunter will come in for North Carolina as Phelps continues to draw. He replaces Ranzino Smith.
This team here is 3 ACC officials, and when Notre Dame plays down at Chapel Hill, there's 3 Big Ten officials.
5-second violation. Notre Dame's ball.
That normally does not happen to the Tar Heels. Now here's Joe Bodie is saying, hey, Digger, please now sit down. I don't want to hit you with a tee. Let this game go on. We'll ref the game you coach. Now Digger turns around and tells the guy, sit down.
You were good at that, too.
Yeah, I just told my assistant, Hank Ramos and Vic, now stop it, will you? You're annoying the assistant.
And you continue to bait him. David Rivers has not scored as yet. Here they are double teaming him again.
Well, they're not getting it back to him under 20 seconds. See, they're knocking out the first 25 seconds. About now that you give it to us, 25 seconds left to go. Now they open up, Vic. I think he can take Hunter if they open up.
There's the 45-second clock. Mark Stevenson will take the jumper. Tough shot. And it's North Carolina breaking out 2-on-1. Hunter with Reed. And Hunter can't hold it.
Oh, he hot dogged at that time. A little bit too much French pastry. He had Reed coming down. He could have given him a high lob pass for a dunk.
And the Hall of Famer on the Carolina bench, Dean Smith, up and slaps his hands. Did not like what he saw there.
Well, Dean never criticized his ball player. Public, never. But I tell you, Hunter's coming out.
That was guaranteed.
Watch.
Knocked away off the knee of Gary Vos. And it's Carolina's ball. Here comes Ranzino Smith in. And
there goes Hunter. Now we'll whisper something to you, Hunter. Forget the showboating. The Harlem Globetrotters is playing Sunday afternoon at 5.
9 minutes remaining in the opening half. North Carolina leading Notre Dame 17-9. As expected, a low-scoring game induced by Notre Dame. Batted away nicely by the Irish. Long pass to Stevenson.
They'll take it back around the horn.
Donald Royal. And a knee on Hobson for blocking.
Watch how quick this steal comes, develops. They try to loop it over. It was a bad pass.
Sean Connor was the man who made the play.
He drifted in off the weak side. That's the side the ball is not on. You call it the weak side. Where the ball's on, you call it the strong side.
Rivers to Vos as Connor, three-point try. And rebound to Popson. Joe Wolf, he'll shoot it from the other end. And he misses. That's a rarity for him on that shot. 8.5 minutes left in this first 20-minute period. 17-9. Number 1, North Carolina, leading Notre Dame.
Branzino doing a nice job on Rivers. Double teaming Rivers. You gotta let it go, Connors.
Connor hits at 17-11, his first bucket.
Dick Connors is from a town of 1,800 people.
Ziegler, Illinois.
Combination defense, 2 more zones, man-to-man, 2-3.
Dave Popson. Nice shot by Popson from 10.
Big basket. Difficult shot. Popson has really found himself as a senior. No, Rivers, he's too small for you.
Three-pointer for Rivers. Hadn't hit anything except the backboard. Boy, was he off on that shot. 8-point Carolina lead and the ball. Inside to Reed, knocked away by Rivers. Fine play.
Seven minutes left. 8-point split.
And Geno Smith is doing an excellent job on Rivers.
Trying to catch some 5 counts. They haven't caught him yet.
Donald Royal around JR. Not there. Bose can't hit. Branzino the other way.
He'll look for the secondary break. Watch. Now he watched JR go down low.
That's a three-pointer for Lebo. And it's 22-11 Notre Dame. Lebo's first shot is a three-pointer. He's been hitting 50% of those on the year. He has 36 of them. Zach Lebo has twice as many three-point shots made as the Notre Dame team combined. Timeout with 6 minutes and 10 seconds left in the first half. Oh, how a picture tells a story. Al McGuire is head coach of Marquette University. You think, now this shot was taken at the end of a game here at the ACC. Do you think Marquette won or lost?
No, Dick. I was the white Michael Jordan.
He was sticking out his tongue after losing here to the Irish.
With Michael always, if you notice, when he's playing, his tongue is always out. I better explain that.
North Carolina, typically one of the top shooting teams. 54% on the year this season, 59 today. And Notre Dame is cold. And the score reflects that. 22-11, the Irish with 11 points in 14 minutes.
I don't like the move. It'll only be temporary. Carolina's went to a zone. They figure 11-point lead. I don't think it's a smart move, personally. I'm not second-guessing their staff, but I believe.
Royal has it taken away by a foul. Buck call.
You got everything going your way. You got an 11-point lead. You got a bench that's a ton long.
Only the third team foul on Carolina. 4 for Notre Dame. Well, we're going to put on that double team. Rivers back to Hicks. Three-pointer. John Connor.
Mark the score when they went to the zone, Dick. I just don't think it's a smart move. Notre Dame fine. The 1-3-1 because they don't have any rebounding strength.
Hicks. Knocking the ball away from Branzino Smith. North Carolina plays it with 5.5 minutes remaining before the intermission. Very interesting halftime on Al McGuire's troops that involves the freshman eligibility and Proposition 48 and the coach's reaction to that controversial resolution. And also Kenny Smith, we have an interview with him from Chapel Hill. Oh, wide open is Popson.
Great surgeon work there. They just dissected that zone.
10-point lead for Carolina.
Now they're back to man-to-man.
Only loss for North Carolina came in the third game of the season at UCLA. 3-point try by Connor. And a foul. Notre Dame's Donald Royal is called for the foul.
When a bounce pass works, it's unbelievable. Watch this bounce pass. Hobson on the inside.
Steve from Bucknell, who's from London, England, and came over here interested in basketball, learned it in high school while going to camps, and then matriculated at North Carolina. He's become a fine player. 10-point lead. 4.5 minutes. Lebo. Back out to Popson with 22 seconds. That's a three-pointer for Lebo. Or they set that up nicely. Lebo has 6 points on 2 shots.
Again, smooth. They're aware of every type of defense. They have patience.
Testimony to the talent of this North Carolina team to lose their floor leader, their leading scorer, Kenny Smith, come into the camp of the enemy and play so well. Sean Connor, he's 3 for 4 and 7 points for him. Ranzino from 3, and he hits.
Oh boy, that's nice. That's the first basket he had against Notre Dame in the last 3 years. He's doing a great job on Rivers on the defensive end.
Biggest lead for North Carolina, 14 points. And there's a 5-second call as Ranzino hawking Rivers, and the turnover.
That was inevitable.
3 minutes, 34 seconds remaining in the opening half. Welcome back to Notre Dame, where North Carolina leads 30-16, and now the point in question is pertinent. How close does Notre Dame have to be at halftime to entertain any hopes of an upset?
I think they got to be in the area between 9 and 11, Dick, to have a good shot. But Notre Dame's going to make 1 or 2 runs. You do not come into South Bend without Notre Dame making 1 or 2 runs at you, even in the second half. But Carolina, Dick, is such a talented ball club. They're not going to win every game, but they're so talented. Anyone that's off the charts and makes someone better than they are, I'd have to see that talent.
30-16, North Carolina now trying to take advantage of the turnover on the 5-second call. Ranzino Smith fouled by Rivers. First foul on Rivers at halftime. Kenny Smith will be our guest from Chapel Hill. And Proposition 48 basically designed to upgrade the scholastic standards of high school athletes going to college, and in order for them to be eligible to pass certain, whether they be standardized tests or grades in the hardcore subjects in high school, then there's considerable controversy, perhaps not about the principles or the system, but how that is derived, how the testing is done. Ranzino drops in 2 more, and it's a 32-16 lead for Carolina.
Tar Heels have done what they wanted to do, take the crowd out of the game.
David Rivers still looking for his first points of the game, and boy, is Ranzino doing a job on him.
Every switch, Ranzino's getting help. They're double teaming him.
J.R. Reed just couldn't get out of the way. 6'10" and 244 pounds, the freshman Reed.
Ranzino stays on top of him wherever he goes. He plays him without the ball. The way to stop a man, the man's to play him before he gets the ball. After a guy gets the ball, then you got to square up.
And how he fought through a couple of screens there. They're trying to set up text for Rivers, but Ranzino too quick and too tough.
Here they go to a 2-3 zone again. The shot will be from the outside.
Inside to Royal. There's their three-point shooter, Connor.
Well,
second, he has 10.
I'm not second guessing anymore.
J.R. Reed, little short, rebound to Gary Vos. Vos coming on the boards of late. Averaging around 9 a game. Royal. Donald Royal from New Orleans. 5 straight points for Notre Dame. It's an 11-point game with 2 minutes left.
no reason to go to the zone. Dick, the game's over, 32-16.
You think that may be because he wants to
Well, he has a
rest
reason.
Lebo? He's resting Lebo, and so he can go 40 minutes?
No, I don't know. He has a reason, obviously. He's one of the best coaches who's ever lived.
Inside it goes to Royal. Back to Connor. Stevenson inside against Reed. A bucket by the Irish would pull them into single figures in the deficit. And they got it from Stevenson.
I told you, you can't fool with Notre Dame at South Bend. The Gipper wakes up at halftime and starts walking around the campus. Pat O'Brien.
7 unanswered points for the Irish. Bucknell and hit it. And a foul on Bucknell. They do not call a foul. Oh, my.
Dig is going into a tirade on that ball. I don't think it was a foul, personally. Got away with an elbow right there. Dances around, the ball comes over. Both hustling for the ball. Royal touched it last. Good ball. They're going to go down to JR if they can. Whoa!
Rolling by Connor.
Well, Connor, you better pull up. You can't run.
Over Reed, and then he misses the shot. That would have been 9 consecutive points. For
Beautiful
Notre Dame.
move by Lebo that time around the back. Here's 2 points if Wolf shoots.
Oh, Reed loses it. It goes right to Bucknell. 3-pointer for Lebo. Wolf is there to score. No, he misses. Gets it back again. And all
Jump ball. And the arrow favors Chapel Hill. Sky blue.
33 seconds left in the half.
They're going to play for 1 shot, I believe.
Rantino Smith comes in, as you see. Boy, the ball just went drop. Hard to believe that Wolf missed the one. No foul there. They call that.
Well, they were raking Wolf underneath there, Dick.
Yeah, they were. You can't hear the noise of slap on skin when the crowd is as loud as it is. That's one of the advantages.
Let's see, they should take it around the horn. Good play by Jeff Lebo. They should empty out underneath, try to get to a back door. Watch for the back door. Drive a corner, Vasco back door.
Game clock, that's the official clock, down to 12.
If I was Notre Dame right now, I'd drop back to the zone.
Lebo, not there. Rivers with 4.
There's time, there's time.
Counts if it goes, and he's just a little long at the end of the half. But a 7-point run by Notre Dame in the final 2 minutes gives Notre Dame fans hope at the intermission. The Tar Heels lead by 9. At halftime, North Carolina, #1 in the nation, leading Notre Dame by 9 points, 32-23. Your reaction to the first 20 minutes?
Well, Carolina is so good, but Notre Dame's backcourt has not scored even 1 point. But you know, Dick, the Tar Heels, I don't know if they had Rockne, Gipper, Arapazesian, Father Hesburgh. I don't know if they can do it today.
North Carolina Tar Heels, impressive in the first 20 minutes, leading by 9. Kenny Smith from Chapel Hill, and a special halftime feature from Al McGuire after these words from your local station. Turn to the court for the second half. They, of course, are without Kenny Smith, their star senior guard. Jack Gregory of our NBC affiliate in Raleigh-Durham talked with Kenny earlier today.
Dick, thank you. Al, we are here in Chapel Hill with Kenny Smith, out of the hospital infirmary, the school infirmary, I should say, at 9:30 this morning. Thursday night, Kenny, you went down to Clemson with the team, scored 41 points, the second highest single-game total in school history. The next day you're operated on. How did you do that?
Well, the injury that caused me to miss a game earlier is really unrelated to what I have now, and it's just an occurrence that it happened in the same, and a misfortune that it happened in the same knee.
Now, how did you arrive at the decision to have surgery now? Was this something you decided on your own, or did you have help with other people?
It definitely was a collaboration of our team physician, our trainer, and myself. And with the repercussions of the operation, we really felt that this was the best thing for me.
And what are the doctors telling you as far as your prognosis, recovery is concerned?
Well, with this type of injury and surgery, the maximum is probably 2.5 weeks, and it really depends on how well I heal. It's a great possibility I can be back earlier.
Well, now, 3 years ago, Carolina was 17-0 going up against LSU. You got hurt in that ball game, and they went on to the playoffs, the NCAA playoffs. They didn't go very far. How would you compare this team this year with the team 3 years ago without Kenny Smith in the lineup?
Well, it's really tough to compare teams when you have such great players on both and had Michael Jordan and Sam Perkins who can easily pick up the slack for a player. But I think this team does have a special unity, and they played without me before, and that's a big advantage anytime you play without a player who's an integral part of the team. So I think they're a little bit ahead in that aspect.
You had a chance to talk to your teammates about the surgery, either up there at South Bend or before you go into the hospital, and if so, who were they and what did they tell you?
Well, before the surgery, I was driving actually to the hospital with my roommate, Dave Popson, didn't know anything about it. And I saw him, and he was the first one to know, and he was pretty much shocked, but he's 100% behind me, as the rest of the team is.
We hope you get better real quick. It's got to be real tough for you watching this game today on TV.
Definitely. It's really tough, and it makes me that much more anxious to get back out there.
Our thanks to Jack Gregory down in Raleigh-Durham. That visit with Kenny Smith, it's good news. It appears he'll be back and in full form by the time we get to the tournament. The bad news is those injuries seem to follow you around.
Well, what happens a lot of times, certain players become injury-prone, Dick, and no one can ever figure this out, why certain players go down. A lot of times happens with certain coaches. I never had any injuries at Marquette. Believe it or not, for 13 years, I never had one serious injury.
Kenny Smith is not here today, but his teammates certainly are. They had a 16-point lead before Notre Dame ran off 7 in a row to cut it to 9 at halftime. There are the official statistics in the first 20 minutes. North Carolina, that's about their season average, 54%. And actually the turnovers almost even after Carolina had an early jump in that regard. Rebounds only a +2 North Carolina. Individual scoring, Joe Wolf with 8 early, Lebo with a couple of three-pointers. Key to Notre Dame even being close, if 9 is close, is Sean Connor coming off the bench with 10, and David Rivers and Scott Hicks in the backcourt for Notre Dame shut out in the first 20 minutes.
Possession, Notre Dame has taken a shot every 24 seconds that they had possession. North Carolina every 16 seconds.
Notre Dame gets it first to open the second half. Down by 9, but they were trailing 32-16 with 3 minutes left in the half and scored the final 7 points of that first half. Stevenson with a good fake on Thompson. Didn't take the shot.
And Manzino playing Rivers without the ball, cutting off the passing lane into him.
Royal sets up Hicks and on to Stevenson for 2. That's 9 straight for Notre Dame.
We've got ourselves right now Wolf time. Little Red Riding Hood, get it into Wolf.
Dave Hobson with that jump hook, not there. Wolf has it stripped away and a foul on Rivers, his second.
Watch Rivers drop down in here. Off the rebound, Wolf got it, gives a head and shoulders fake. Here comes Rivers, caught the hand. Good call. Wolf seems to be coughing out there. I wonder if he has the flu.
Rivers' second foul in for Notre Dame, number 43, Scott Paddock, a 6'9 freshman. He's on Wolf at the moment.
Mismatch, they get it in.
J.R. Reed with Stevenson. Almost a 5-second count on Reed. Lebo inside to Popson. Traveling on Popson. So with 9 consecutive points for Notre Dame, Dean Smith for the first time shows some concern. His 16-point lead has melted down to 7.
Watch him double team on Rivers once they crisscross.
This is Paddock, Plantation, Florida. Stevenson with Hobson. Stevenson comes out to J.R. Reed for North Carolina. The Tar Heels have not scored in over 5 minutes.
Still have a 7-point lead. That's a
Foul against Hobson, away from the ball. Those are the ones that hurt. Possession, you lose the ball on that foul.
Well, he's picking from behind. See him moving from behind to try to switch off Wolf's man. That's what you call blind picking. It's illegal. It's you move. He's got a wait. Let's run his man off you.
David Rivers, the junior from Jersey City, New Jersey. His father is here today. First time he's ever seen David play at Notre Dame. Inside to Hicks amongst the tall trees. He is tied up. 3-second violation.
Going up.
They are. Not there. Controlled by Scott Hicks. Tar Heel suddenly turning ice cold, and Notre Dame again with a chance to cut the lead.
They'll be in trouble if Rivers starts to perk.
Rivers just can't get away from Ranzino Smith. Ranzino leaves Rivers. That means someone's open. Hicks. Can't hit, however. Hicks trying to get it back, does. Stevenson, and give that credit to Scott Hicks for his hustle and pass.
Wow, what a turnaround. Oh,
Stolen by Rivers.
Great play. Watch the master work right now. That's the master.
13 unanswered points for Notre Dame, and it's a 3-point game.
Take one of your timeouts, please. Don't be going to say when you like the timeout for the end of the game. Here comes the crowd, the sixth man.
6.5-minute dry spell for North Carolina. Lebo can't hit. Big rebound, pops into Wolf, and that ends a long, flawless play. 10 points for Wolf. Carolina back on top by 5 with 3.5 minutes gone in the second half.
Watch, Dick. They got Rivers now off the side. That was the confidence that Chippy just had.
Stolen by Ranzino, but it goes out of bounds to Notre Dame. Boy, David Rivers really with a pickpocket job.
Quick hands, extremely quick hands. All the way down, solo, automatic.
The first points for David Rivers.
You just don't let Notre Dame up, especially at South Bend. That's where they got the big upsets.
Scott Williams has replaced J.R. Reed for North Carolina. Gary Bose is back in for Notre Dame. Almost a steal by Lebo. Rivers is open. 34-31.
You can't tell me that basketball isn't a head game. It's positive thinking, being sure of yourself. Back door.
And a bad pass by Williams. Dean Smith wants a foul.
That back door was a foul. They held Lebo going back door that time. An obvious hole. Dean Smith is very
Out, and they're going crazy at Notre Dame. North Carolina, #1 in the nation, once ahead by 16. Its lead down to 3 at 34-31, and Notre Dame with the ball. A 3-point attempt away from a tie.
And all of a sudden, Rivers is hot. The confidence is back in him. Told you. Told you.
Ranzino Smith with the rebound.
The numbers are there.
Ranzino
what a
hammers
shot.
in a 3-pointer.
Great shot.
One thing about Dean Smith's team, they really play for the 3-pointer. He doesn't discourage it.
Well, one of the reasons the 3-point is in is because of Dean Smith. They had the 3-point in the ACC about 6-7 years ago for an experiment year. He likes the 3-point. The 3-point is part of his offense.
5 minutes gone, second half. J.R. Reed almost with a steal. It was here 13 years ago that Digger Phelps' team authored the major upset. Is the basket good? Yes. Foul on Stevenson for charging. 37-33.
I always call this a no foul. The ball was out of his hands before he charged, they say. Let's see. That was a close one. That was a close one.
It was back in '74 that UCLA's 88-game win streak, longest ever, ended on this court. J.R. Reed, little short, gets it back. Stolen by Rivers.
Unbelievable Houdini. There he goes. Quicksilver.
North Carolina leads by 4. Stevenson, DeVos, 20 seconds on the shot clock. Rivers from outside. 6 for Rivers, all in the second half. A 2-point game. This is the closest the Irish have been since the opening minute.
Carolina does not lose their composure. They'll punch the ball inside. Every chance they get, there it is.
Williams saving it. Scott Williams did a good job of keeping possession. 3-pointer Ranzino, not there. The Irish with a chance to tie. Here they come, and the crowd is on its feet. Donald Royal of Notre Dame. Willie Rivers, the father of David, his first trip here to Notre Dame to see his son play.
Davis, one of 14 children. That's a young man for 14 children.
37-35, North Carolina, with 7 minutes gone in the second half.
He works for an electronic company. Nice ball movement.
Scott Williams for the basket and a foul.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. The subs on the bench are really working this game. I'm talking about the North Carolina bench. They're up on every call, cheering their teammates on.
David Rivers picks up the foul, his third. That sends this young man, Scott Williams, to the line. 6'10" freshman from Hacienda Heights, California. The first West Coast recruit for Dean Smith in 25 years. Tipped out by Wolf, and so a chance for not just 2, but 4, maybe 5. Wolf tipped out again.
Great play by Scott Williams again. He kept the ball alive. Uh-oh.
Dave Hobson comes up limping. Holding his calf.
I think it might be the right ankle, Dick, but...
For Carolina returning to the lineup.
He's in pain.
For J.R. Reed, replacing Thompson.
Let's look at it again. Number 35 pops and see how it happens. Here he is right in the foreground.
Most likely, we weren't low enough. He most likely stepped on the foot of the Notre Dame player there to turn the ankle.
Concern of Carolina for their senior Dave Hobson. The score is 39-35. 12 minutes and 40 seconds left in the second half. J.R. Reed has already come into the lineup for North Carolina. Curtis Hunter, Scott Williams, Wolf, and Lebo. 8 in a row for John Wooden. UCLA led 70-59 with 3.5 minutes left and didn't score again. And Dwight Clay hit a jumper from the right-hand corner to beat the Bruins 71-70 in one of the most memorable games in basketball history. And that started Digger Phelps' feeling for hosting #1 teams. As we chronicled earlier, his teams have 4 times knocked off the #1 club in the nation. Now, that was Dwight Clay in the corner for Notre Dame hitting that winning shot against David Myers and Bill Walton. John Shoemate in that picture got the rebound at the end to secure the win.
And for the rest of his life, Dick, he was known as the Iceman.
right play. Or the other number ones that take the defeat. North Carolina does not want to be on that list. They trail by 1.
If they score, Notre Dame will call a timeout. Carolina has 1 timeout left. 16 seconds on the shot clock.
We'll watch. That's the game clock. We'll watch the shot clock. It's at 10, 9. J.R. Reed with the ball with 7. Reed throws up a prayer. Gary Vose has it. David Rivers with 18.
Timeout. Shouldn't they call a timeout?
And an intentional foul on North Carolina. A 2-shot foul. And now they can taste it at Notre Dame.
Well, they better not taste it too soon, Dick. Dean has a timeout left, and there's always that 3-point shot.
This is where the loss of Kenny Smith hurts North Carolina. The ball in the hands of the freshman who tried to do too much.
If Kenny Smith played for the Boston Celtics and was hurt, it would hurt the Boston Celtics. Kenny Smith is that good.
Leading the cheers for Notre Dame, David Rivers' father, Willie. At the line will be Rivers. A 2-shot foul. Rivers did not score in the first half. Has a dozen here in the second.
Watch out, fellas.
Oh, the lucky kid. There he was in August on the side of the road, thinking he was going to die. I did a show on him, Dick. He has a scar in the stomach. He didn't want us to show it. That's 15 inches long. Sometimes, you know, things turn around.
Lucky to be alive. And now trying to give the Irish a 3-point lead.
Ooh, he pulled that one. He was lucky. Dean will bring the ball up to half court and call timeout. Right now, he'll call it. Call timeout, Dean.
He needs a 3-point play to tie.
Set it up. Here goes Jeff Baby.
Lebo.
Oh.
Both rebounds, and he's fouled by J.R. Reed with 5 seconds left.
You know, so people understand, Dick, we always root for the underdog. They're afraid of a technical foul. Technical foul is running up and down the court, but the could have been distracted. He got the technical. I figured that would come. It's a good
Technical
call.
foul against the crowd.
It was a good call, Dick. The crowd's just out of hand. These refs can't let them govern the game.
Digger Phelps, for those of you joining us late, made an announcement in the very first minute of the game when the fans threw out the usual toilet paper rolls and what have you after the first basket, and was warned then. He warned the crowd to stay in control. And now the technical foul. First, Gary Vose will shoot 2 because he was intentionally fouled. Then Dean Smith will get a technical foul, 1 shot, and the ball.
If he makes this one, it creates a serious problem. Ribnot's no chance. If he misses this one, there's still a chance for OT. Ooh, a miracle on 34th Street.
Gary Vose with his 15th point of the game. Has been brilliant, this junior. And now Jeff Lebo will shoot the technical foul for North Carolina. 5 seconds remaining. Notre Dame by 5. But a 3-point play won't do it. It takes a shot and a foul, so Notre Dame will give Carolina the shot.
I'm surprised that Digger just doesn't pull back into a tight zone. He let him have the 3-point shot. 5 seconds left, you can foul a guy with a 3-point shot and make a 4-point play.
Joe Wolf got there. Lebo. The basket is good. The final, Notre Dame 60, North Carolina 58, and number 1 is beaten again at Notre Dame. the biggest win here in 7 years since they upset then unbeaten DePaul in double overtime. A team that was down by 16 points late in the first half rallies to beat number 1 North Carolina 60-58. Now stay tuned for boxing and the Melrose Games coming up next on NBC Sport World. For Al McGuire, Dick Enberg, so long from Mad Happy Notre Dame.